Hello, Virgo. I had to remember what sign I was doing just now. Welcome to your April Soul Session. I'm Princess India. If you're new and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. Now, if you aren't familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings, okie dokie, in which we look at the energies that you guys may encounter on this given month for the sole purpose of giving you some clarity, some insight, and some guidance, my friend. So, let's see. We have the 10 of Swords in the reverse that came out, and I'm praying to God that you guys do not hear my mother, who is presently in my living room arguing with Alexa. So let's just hope that noise cancellation works. Anywho, you guys have the 10 of Swords that came out, the Ace of Cups in the reverse, the Ace of Swords in the reverse, and then we have the 2 of Pentacles. So what it is looking like, my friend, is with this 10 of Swords coming out of March into April, it's more or less a mindset or a perspective that you guys are holding on to, or a disappointment or a rejection of some sort that you guys are holding on to, and there's a need to release it. This is already going in a very specific direction for me, Virgo. This all would relate back to your perception of a situation, and on some level or another, it's perceiving it worse than what it is, right? Because two things about it, with this Ace of Cups, we're speaking to emotional unfulfillment, or just something that you were aspiring to or desiring to go in a direction of that did not pan out the way that you desired it to. So it's a big, big disappointment, but there's a need for a mental breakthrough in reference to this. And I really want to clarify it because I want to know what it is that happened. But bringing us into this energy with the 2 of Pentacles, it's more or less because of what it is that transpired last month. It's not really knowing how to move forward. So here's the thing. I feel that this is perfectly normal, how it is that you guys are feeling right now, or the circumstance that you're in, because it's, how do I want to say it? This feels fresh, if that makes sense. This feels very fresh to me. So I feel that you guys are kind of like hot off the heels, if you will, of whatever this disappointing situation is. And I know, of course, this is a general reading, so for each of you guys is going to be different, but I just want to kind of clarify it, just to get some more insights into what it is. But I feel with that being kind of fresh still, it's difficult to kind of try to see how one can move forward. And looking at this Ace of Cups and this Ace of Swords, okay, I would say those are just kind of clarifiers to me of seeing how fresh this is, because this lets me know that whatever this is that didn't pan out or didn't work out, it's something that you desperately wanted to, that you put a lot of energy and effort into it. And it's almost like the vibe I'm getting is almost as if you guys were trying to prevent it from coming to this, or from ending this way. You know what I mean? So with it kind of being a fresh wound, it's not really knowing where to go from here. Now, the card that we have clarifying this 10 of Swords is the Lily card, and it says spiritual love. And that, dude, that's interesting, because the vibe I wanted to say with this, Virgo, like just kind of looking at the cards, because soul sessions, I mean, relationships can totally come up in these, but it's more for your personal development is the intention I'm coming from. But the first inclination I got was like, this is totally about a relationship, you know, not panning out the way that you desired and not really knowing where to go forward from there. And with the spiritual, with the spiritual love card, this would be saying to me that, and not saying for everyone that this is a relationship, but for those of you where this would be relating to a relationship, this would feel like someone that you guys felt was like a soulmate or something like that. So someone that you have like that, you know, unexplainable connection with, and things didn't pan out, or you and this person broke up or what have you, or you felt betrayed in some way by this person, and it's not really knowing what to do with that moving forward. Now, on the other side of this, this could relate to a situation that you guys are in that you felt spiritually called to. Like, say, hypothetically, if it's a job, like your dream was always to work for a nonprofit organization, hypothetically, and you get this position, and then, you know, the nonprofit shuts down or something, or you end up getting laid off, and it's not really knowing how to move forward. Because I feel it's something where you felt like this was your person, or you felt like this was your thing, and you felt heavily that this is something that spirit led you into, or it was a deep desire or passion of yours. So it's kind of like, you know, being left where it's like, where do I go from here? You know what I mean? Like, I thought this was the thing, or I thought this was the person, and if it's not, then like, what do I do now, right? But I just want to reassure you guys that if this is something freshly that happened, this is kind of being in that discombobulated is the word that I want to say, but it's a normal space to be in off the cuff of a relationship ending or a job ending that was very important to you. So this is absolutely normal, is what I want to stress here. Now, the two other cards that came out is Pale, which is time to get out of a situation. Wow. And then we have Dog Barking. These cards are very interesting. Advice from a friend. So these are all things that are important. So more or less, these cards are saying it's understanding how important this thing was for you, or how tied or connected you were. I feel like that's why you guys put a lot of energy into it. I want to reassure you guys that it's perfectly normal to be in the state that you are now with this being fresh. But more or less, this is saying that there's a need to focus forward, and you don't want to kind of get trapped in this energy. Wow. And then we have the Tower in the reverse, the Scorpio energy. So more or less, here's the thing. I feel that there's a lack thereof of acceptance for whatever this is, Virgo. So whatever this is that ended, it's almost like consciously knowing and understanding that it's over, or that this ended, or that chapter closed, or what have you. But wow. And this came out sideways, the Six of Pentacles and the reverse. Okay, so this thing transpired, this chapter has closed, this thing ended, but my Virgos are having trouble with letting it go. Now, like I was saying, and I hate to be so redundant, Virgo, but it's coming out of this situation. It's perfectly understandable for you guys to feel what you're feeling now. However, you just don't want to stagnate here, right? With this Tower in the reverse, this is more or less speaking to a level of acceptance of what it is that has transpired, but at the same time, this could have been a lot worse. And I'm being careful with my words because this feels really like heavy for you all. This could have turned out a lot worse than it did, you know? And I think with the pain that you guys may be feeling at present, it's like the impression I'm getting is almost like, and I don't mean this to be insensitive, but it's almost kind of like dodging a bullet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the situation was less than stellar, but it could have been a lot worse than it was. You know what I mean? Because whatever this is, right now, it seems like it wasn't for you. It's one of those things where this wouldn't make sense until like in hindsight. If that's making sense. It's like with it being fresh, it's hard to even see or even fathom that even though this seemed like the end all be all, that it actually isn't. You know what I'm saying? Because with the Six of Pentacles and the reverse, it's saying to me that this is a situation that was taking a lot more from you than it was giving. So it's like, this connection or job or whatever it was for you specifically, it seemed like a gift from God, literally. you know, but it's almost like underneath it all, this was siphoning money or energy or happiness, time, whatever, away from you. And where that whole dodging a bullet type of thing comes in is because in the bigger picture, which is hard to see now, but I believe you guys will see eventually, is that this was in your highest good. It just really doesn't seem like it right now. And I get that. And it's like, I'm treading lightly because I feel like even me saying that would be hard to receive. You know what I mean? And I totally understand that. Then with the Seven of Wands, it's more or less speaking to you guys needing to stand your ground. And that's why I think this is so important, because grieving is imperative. I think for anything that we go through, it's imperative to grieve, but it's also imperative because energy never stays static. It's to allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Don't deny them, don't suppress them, right? But I feel there's a need for you all to stand in your truth, or stand your ground in a sense, because it's almost like, I'm thinking about that whole advice from a friend thing, because it's almost like the vibe I get, dude, is it's like a lot of different voices, like other people. It's a lot of other people who are telling you how you should handle it and how you should feel, and you know, how you should go about it, and why aren't you this way, or why aren't you feeling that way, or like, you know. And I feel it's important for you guys to stand in whatever strength it is that you have, because you don't want to fall victim to being easily influenced by a lot of other just, you know, opinions and voices of what other people think you should be doing. Because with this Two of Pentacles, I feel that's adding a lot to the confusion. Now, if I were to be specific with this and give like a very specific example, it would kind of be like, if you were to think about, oh my gosh. Sorry, Virgo, these interruptions. I had to tell my mother to turn down the oldies but goodies that she's playing in my living room at present. But anywho, so anyway, with the Seven of Wands, I just feel like you guys can get easily lost in the sauce if you don't stand your ground, because I feel you guys are in a vulnerable position with what this is that has transpired for you all. And it's being in a sense of being unsure. It's like it's lacking confidence in how you're really feeling or how it is that you want to move forward. But I feel it's a lot of outside influence that's coming in. And the important thing is that you don't want to fall victim to this outside influence just because you're not sure right now. So I feel like it's imperative for you guys to stand firm on, even if you don't really know what you want, is just literally saying like, I really don't want to hear about that right now. I really don't want advice right now. Like, you know what I mean? If, you know, I just need you to be here for me, or just hear me out and be supportive. Like, don't tell me how to feel or how I should respond or how I should react and things of the sort. Just because with you guys being, like I said, in a vulnerable position, I feel that it could inadvertently put you guys in a position to where you're getting kind of lost in the sauce, if you will, where you're just confused and don't know who to listen to, you know? Then we have the Chariot in the reverse. That's Cancerian energy. So there's a lack thereof of movement forward. That goes back to that Two of Pentacles again. I feel for this, honestly, Virgo, I think it's just important for you guys to go easy on yourself. I wouldn't even focus so much on, and then we have the Eight of Wands. Yeah. Here's the thing, my wonderful Virgo. I feel that now isn't the time for you guys to need to know all of the answers, to have it all figured out, to, you know, come to a completion in your emotions and take a particular stance on how you're feeling, or like encapsulating the whole experience that you've been through. I don't think any of that is important right now. I think what's really important for Virgos is for you guys to be with yourself, be with your feelings, be with your emotions, and be with your thoughts at present. if, you know, you allowed to bring someone else into that, whether it's a friend, a family member, a therapist, somebody you trust, whatever the case may be, it's more or less like now isn't the time for necessarily for people to give you advice unless you want it, like unless it's solicited advice. It's more or less you needing to feel what you're feeling, only receiving advice if you ask for it first. But I feel you guys really just need a listening ear. You know what I mean? Like a shoulder to cry on, and just someone to give you the opportunity to express what you're thinking and you're feeling without judgment. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have a friend like that now, I've been telling everybody all month, it's like, if you want to get a life coach, if you want to get a therapist, talk to your pastor, priest, rabbi, whatever the case may be. I feel what would really behoove you guys is just a listening ear, you know, just to help you kind of process what it is that you've been through. Because with this 8 of Wands coming out, this is speaking to movement forward, you know, and I feel once you guys come to that place of strength within yourself and you're ready to move forward, it's like a lot of the stuff that I'm saying is gonna kind of like click to you guys. And not saying literally everything that I'm saying, but more or less the biggest piece being you guys making sense of the situation that you were in. You know, it's like right now, what Virgo really needs is catharsis. You know, you guys just need to, you know, feel what you're feeling, grieve, you know, express yourself like free of judgment. And I think as you're going through that process of, feeling your emotions, dealing with your emotions or what have you, it's almost like clarity comes in that and forward movement comes from that. What this is looking like to me is whether it's people who are like friends, it's almost kind of like if your dog died or something and you're sad and you have friends that are like, oh, you know, you need to come out, like you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, why are you just sitting here in the house and sulking? Like, you know, you need to move forward. You've been crying for too long type of deal. And I don't really feel that's what you guys need right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's friends where they don't mean ill. They want to, you know, make you feel better type of deal. But I feel like you guys need to process this. And it's almost like in the processing of these emotions, in the talking about them and crying and being angry and being confused, it's almost as if your solution comes through that. So as opposed to being in this place where you're stuck and, you know, you forcing yourself to move forward or people telling you like move forward, instead of doing that, this is you guys like literally going through the process and coming out of the other side, if you will. So it's like not taking a shortcut to it. And I think once you guys get on the other side of this and you look back at the situation in hindsight, it's a lot of things that you're going to see about this situation that you didn't see in the beginning. You know what I mean? And that would fall into those things of like when I said with it being one-sided, it's a lot that you guys put into it that you weren't getting back and things of the sort. But I don't feel any of that is important for you now, because I feel whatever realization Virgo comes to about this situation, about what you guys have been through, it needs to come up in a form of your own inner inspiration. You know what I mean? It's something that a resolve that you need to come to within yourself, or a clarity that you need to come to within yourself. I don't feel people saying, don't feel bad, don't be sad, do this, do that. I don't really feel like that's going to be helpful. So it's almost, you know, the power you guys are standing in with the 7 of Wands is you guys standing in your power to have the right to feel what you feel, to think how it is you want to think about it, to approach it how it is that you want to approach it. And you don't have to do anything other than that, because the 8 of Wands says you guys will move forward, but you're going to move forward in your own time, and you have every right to do that, if that's making sense, Virgo. I hope that that makes sense. Bless your little hearts. I love you guys so much. I am so sorry. I don't know what this is that you guys are going through, But I'm sorry that you are going through it, my friend. I can assure you that it's going to get better, Virgo. Most certainly stay strong. I'm going over to my network to do you guys extended. So if you're about that life, follow me on over there. If not, that's totally cool. I still love your face, Virgo. And I'll see you guys sooner than later, my friends.